welcome to The Shift with Mike and Joe. This is episode 19, and we have Bobby Woolley here, and we are very excited to have you, Bobby. Thanks for coming.
Happy to be here.
Thanks for being here, man.
Before we get too into this, we're going to do the intro that goes like this. The Shift with Mike and Joe. You forgot to say The Shift.
You did it early, actually.
I did. I didn't go enough bars into it. It was okay, right?
Yeah.
For the 19th time?
We've only done that one a couple times.
Well, I was giving you 19 credits.
All right. Well, thanks, man. I appreciate that. It'll get better and better every time.
Joe,
do you practice in the studio with that? Or just on the fly?
We've practiced a couple times, I think.
Over the phone, I think.
We did it over the phone.
It's not the same.
It's not the same. We should FaceTime next time. Practice.
We should, yeah. I had a hard time. It's hard to time it, over the phone, because you can't.
You got to read you got to sync this thing up.
Yeah. We should stare into each other's eyes next time.
I stared into your eyes the whole time just now.
Did you?
Things are deep.
I thought so.
I was looking past you at the wall.
Okay. the long stare. So, Bobby.
Yes.
Tell us about, we'll get into some history stuff, but can you tell us about what the Edge is?
Yeah, man.
3 parts, you said.
Yeah, 3 legs kind of has evolved over time. We always were a athletic training facility from the very beginning. That has just grown over time to include, an open gym to the public, which we call the Edge Training Academy. It's located in the business park over here. About 10 years ago, we brought on the Edge Arena. So it's a large sports arena, doubles as a community rec center, birthday parties, everything you can imagine happens there. And then since we opened 2013, we had a nonprofit leg in the Giving the Edge Foundation, which has just become a staple in the community for all of our outreach to help kids inside the schools mostly, but also some community-based programs. So those 3 together make up what we call the Edge 360.
Okay.
And that's kind of the brand.
The Edge 360, that's what we wanted.
We're all around you.
That's all around, surrounded by the Edge. So for those who don't know, we are in Stevensville, Maryland. So that's where the Edge is located. How long have you been open?
The gym opened in 2013 along with the foundation, and then we opened the arena in 2016.
Okay. Yeah. So quite a while now.
And you really utilize that arena because I've talked to people who have held church services there. I know you do older or adult sport leagues, and that's awesome. It's very, very good thinking.
Yeah, and a lot of that was established ahead of us. We kind of assumed the building when the prior folks were leaving.
Yeah. And
rather than letting it fall to be whatever it was next, we really tried to pour into making it more about opportunity for youth. So yeah, we still have adult leagues and things like that for soccer and kickball and stuff like that. So it's more of a filler than our focus. I would say definitely much heavier focus on youth activities that, as we all grew up around here, we just aim to fill the vacuum of things that we may not have had. Mm-hmm. So the space is huge. It offers us pretty much any flexible opportunity, from hosting prom to, as you said, Sunday morning church services.
Hosting prom?
Yeah, during COVID. Yeah,
wow. That's awesome, dude.
So yeah, it's been baby showers, wedding shower.
Right.
It's so convertible that, to host a birthday party, you can make it really awesome, kind of simply, just because it's so big and kids get to fly around and have a good time.
That's the main thing they want to do, is just run around.
Yeah, for sure.
I like the idea of having a space that you initially had for one thing and sort of finding other uses for it, so that it's not just sitting empty,
Sure.
6 days a week or whatever.
Yeah, I mean, at one point in time, we had the awesome experience of being contacted by Monumental Sports, which is the front office for the Wizards, the Capitals, I think a couple other of those big pro level teams. Mm-hmm. Well, they had reached out on behalf of their arena football league team out of Baltimore, the Baltimore Brigade, and that really kicked the door open for us to do a lot of the things we've done over the years, because they came in with a contract that said we need the facility from 6 a.m. to 2 p.m. because we need to have our full-fledged NFL level like practice in here.
Wow.
So it's so cool. They would come in, bright and early and like set the whole field up. They had their whole front office there, all the coaches. They bust the players in every day. And in the second year of that happening, they needed a larger space to do like team workouts and things. So what we had previously in the training academy just wasn't sufficient for what they needed. So I was like, look, this is the time where we've always wanted to go into like the public offering for the gym space. Let me just walk these guys into the back of this old like machine shop and see what they think. So, I take them into this grungy old place. It was like NRL, I think, before us. And I'm like, all right, guys, this is where we're going to put it. And they're looking at me like I'm absolutely nuts. And a couple months later, we were, in a new facility
That's awesome.
with them in tow. And then they took over all the front office space that we had in that building because they needed more of that as well. So that whole like single call that came in, to your point, like it gave us a lot more exposure to like, man, that gives us an anchor during the day. Didn't last forever. Like the whole league went belly up, but it gave us that kick the door open to the public that we really wanted to be able to do.
Yeah.
And that's the space that you are currently like renting out for other types of events and things?
So they took both though. So they did their main operations and practice and all of that in the arena. And then from the workout perspective, they would basically move over to the training academy, after they did their morning practice, which is now where we have our open gym to the public at the front of the business park.
Okay.
So it kind of gave us the ability to open that to a public 24/7 gym that we couldn't do in our prior setting. Yeah. So it's pretty neat to have a big dog like that come knocking and be able to support them for a few years. Like,
Right.
Yeah, most people wouldn't have a clue that there was like a pro level team, in there just all
I
day,
had
every
no
day.
idea.
Yeah,
I had no
pretty cool.
Yeah, that is awesome.
Yeah.
What do you got next, Mike?
So what inspired you to actually I think I kind of know the answer to this, but for the viewers, like to start this gym, like, and what kind of, what was involved in it? I mean, it's got to be a pretty big undertaking.
The idea was raw in my head in college. I just knew coming from this town that like all of us could have probably benefited from having additional resources in the athletic world. If you showed any glimpse of talent, it was very difficult back then to be recognized to go on and pursue like college level playing experience. And from a recruiting standpoint, our ultimate aiming point was just to send one kid each year to be able to further pursue their dreams by giving that outlet of growth. And
Outside of like the typical high school
you go, you do your
experience,
practice and all those things. But if you want to hone in on your skills, that's where we kind of focused our efforts early on. And our definition of success was like, okay, we'll just do, if we get one a year, it would be just absolutely tremendous. And, in hindsight, that's what it was all built on, just providing opportunity for those who had that gumption to just attack it and give them like what I call like this sanctuary for self-improvement. And, in hindsight, I'm like, man, one a year, we were shooting pretty low based on what we've actually, been able to.
Where are you at now?
At last count, it was over 200.
Wow.
And that's like just from any level of connectiveness to what their journey is. I'm not saying that every one of those 200 is like they were under my watch for 15 or 20 or more sessions, not like that layer. And then I think I get the additional benefit of coaching at the high school too. So it's like some of those kids that have gone through and coached with us and frequented the facilities and all those things. We've had a kid, I say a kid, a grown man now, but just got a gold medal with the Team USA lacrosse team. And it's like, whoa, man.
Yeah, that's awesome.
From a town that we can all look at and say, oh, that was our home. And there wasn't really a whole lot going on. And, to see how, a burning desire can be fueled by having the resources and the facilities that they can come and, really hone in. And whether we train them 100 hours or they're in there 500 hours on their own.
Yeah.
It's so cool to just see like it's kind of like a film strip rolling by, like all these kids, like, whoa. It's pretty
So
cool.
did you have I don't know what you call it, sports training background in college?
Yeah,
Or
so I graduated with exercise science degree and a minor in business, so it just kind of fit right into what, my peak interest was.
And was it just you in the beginning doing these training sessions, or what was it like in the beginning?
In the beginning, I had some part-time help pretty early on, and it's kind of backstory unique. Like I had to, taking over the arena, there was some costs there that I just had no idea were going to come about. So it's funny, I just had this meeting with a small business development center, like mentor that I've had since like the early days. Well, they, in taking on that arena, I had to purchase the turf that was there. Part of the stipulations.
The one that where I was teaching back in the day, and then okay, cool.
So that field,
Yeah.
I had to purchase at the time of like taking on the lease, which was like completely unexpected. So fast forward to your question, it's like I had to go out and seek, where can I find this funding? And the Queen Anne's County Economic Development Incentive Fund was an avenue that I chose to pursue, and it came through as a conditional loan. So like that linchpin worked out. Well, seeing that I had to do that, they attached, you have to hire 5 full-time people over the course of like 3 years so that this funding doesn't turn into a loan instead of a grant. And I'm like, oh my God, like it's me and a couple of part-time help, and I got to double down on people and see what we can do. Otherwise, I'm gonna get stuck with this bill that's like, oh my, I'm not planning on that. So the cool part there
was
is
nothing
like,
to sneeze at.
No. It's like, and those are huge dollars back in the day, and like, man, big deal. So to your point, I'm like, I had to go out and basically get a director of all the training. I didn't have to, but those were the places that I chose to pursue because that was like the main services we were providing. Okay, well, if I'm gonna go and send many more than one kid a year, we got to have good talent in here conducting the training, which was a blessing in hindsight, because it gave me the focus to say like, all right, I'm not going to be able to be doing the lessons forever. Like, for lack of better terms, like I'm not going to be the cool coach in here being able to relate as well as you age, right? So bringing in some good talent there was definitely, a step in the right direction. It allowed us a chance to grow and do some cool stuff. So
what's your role now? I mean, what's a typical day like?
Oh my goodness.
That's Mike's favorite question. What's a typical day like?
What's a typical day
in the life of Bobby Woolley? I love how Josh answered it. Like a day today, a day and my day today is what you're saying. Yeah. Do you remember?
As typical as you can, you can use broad strokes here.
Yeah.
Let's start with this. Every day is different. Okay. So like, there's no 2 days that are, mirror images of each other. That's just not the way it works for me. Because we have so much of an influence in like community outreach, we never know the need until it's represented by the community saying, hey, can you help us with this? So that is a complete wild card throughout the course of any year. We have staple things that we do there, as like our efforts, certain programs, but until they kind of tell us what they need, it's not a crapshoot. It's just a complete wild card. So that part of my day is always unknown, right? There's some things that we do that are pretty consistent with like, your typical like administrative duties that running anything. Now that we have a bunch of staff, I'm always checking in to make sure that like operations are running efficiently. There's general maintenance that has to be done at both facilities that whether it's me or passing that along to the next person, I have to be aware of it so that the place doesn't fall apart under my watch.
Sure.
As far as, sales and things like that, I'm always, especially this time of year leading into the winter, which is kind of like our crazy busy season, there's relationships that I have to be kind of in connection with to like make sure we're giving them what they need and invoicing as needed. And, there's a lot of business side of things, but fortunately of late, I've been steadfast on like the moment my eyes crack open, I get to my own gym and do my own thing. Like that's something that I was missing for a number of years, like convincing myself that I wasn't able to work out in my facility because of
That's interesting.
the snowball effect of what I thought was going to happen because of me being there. But the fact is, like, I'm up 2.5 hours ahead of my kids. By nature, I'm just like a really early riser. So I was like, all right, cut the BS. And I've just been getting into the gym. So every day starts that way. Like, I'm out the door within 10 or 15 minutes, and my eyes cracking open, and I'm getting my workout in, which has been a huge thing. You know, the old adage of like practice what you preach is like,
Right.
dude, don't forget about you. So that's been a good thing.
I was thinking about that this morning before. I was like thinking, Bobby must work out, right? Like, you know what I mean? But I could see where there could be a time where you could let it slip. Like,
Totally. I mean, 2 little kids, a 1-year-old and a 3-year-old. It's easy to, you know, let that slip.
do you have like set times that you say, okay, like I'm done by this time and I'm home and I'm spending this amount of time at home? Or
So yes and no. I mean, I have like kind of a framework of a day that I think I work best in. Again, I get up so early that like the start time is not really that relevant. It could be 4:45. It could be I'm in the gym. I think this morning I was there at like 5:20, you know, so I'm already in and out of there by the time 6:15 rolls around, pretty much a guarantee. Get home, eat breakfast, and then I'm in my kind of quiet time before the kids roll. And that's where I do a lot of my best thinking, getting myself prepared for the rest of the day. If you want to call it like creator time, you know,
Yeah.
it's kind of like the dark hours before like the world comes to life. And I've always kind of gravitated to that time of the day for that. And then it kind of parlays into, all right, hit the crazy of the first 2 hours of the kids being up and moving. And I try to be as, you know, much dad mode as I can be. And I think a lot of what you guys have talked about, like outside the 9 to 5 standard, COVID taught me a lot of things that it's okay to work from home. Whereas previously I'd be like non-existent. If I had kids, you know, 10 years ago or more, it would have been like, where's dad? But now I kind of find that morning window to be the dual role of like wear all hats and be dad. And then I try to go like mid-morning to midday, kind of that's my meeting, you know, whatever key meetings need to happen. And then I would say like the 12 to 5 is really that unpredictable time. That's when it's like, man, I could be unloading a pallet of water at the arena and then I'm going to, you know, some county commissioner meeting that evening to represent our nonprofit. Like there's just so many things that in the afternoon it just keep it kind of clean. And then, you know,
do you set aside time the day before or early in the morning to sort of like survey what today is going to look like and sort of plan it out? Or is that something you have time for?
So I had a landscaping business as my first professional career after college. And that taught me like, from a logistics standpoint, tomorrow, you plan that out today. Like that was the only way we could get the most stuff done, all the way down to like making sure you had the right shovel pulled for the next day. Like it taught me a lot of those like early lessons. I did a lot of that early on in this business to make sure that I was finding my efficiency, if you will. You know, I found kind of my new rhythm of like that whole business and how it operated. But now I run so much by a calendar that I don't do as much of that in like a day-to-day engineering perspective. But I can take one quick glimpse and know kind of like the rhythm of that next day.
Yeah.
But I don't drill down nearly as far as I used to.
Okay.
Because I know that flexibility is just going to have to be in play. It's just, there's too many things that are like kind of unpredictable.
Right.
When you're running, you know, we have 40,000 square feet of facilities and then like however many people and the stuff that we do out in the community. It's just, I find that I would be banging my head against the wall more if I tried to do it that way.
Yeah, because it would all fall apart.
Yeah, it would never go as planned.
I would imagine that comes with some experience too, that, you know, early on you're very structured with, planning out every moment. But as you go on, you kind of realize that there needs to be some amount of flexibility in your day.
Well, I think the biggest part there is everything in my day early on in this business was appointment based. Mm-hmm. It was like I just stacked the schedule with, every aspiring athlete that was around. I just was like bang, bang, bang. Every hour was, man, here comes, Sally. And this is, I got to give Sally everything I got because she's chasing her dream of playing Division I lacrosse or whatever. It's like that was very easy to follow up.
Yeah.
Stack the schedule and just run.
So how does that work with, aspiring athletes? And I'm guessing because you're coaching football and you're kind of in that community that you are somewhat aware of these local athletes that have some talent. Do you like approach them and do they have like a membership, or how does that work?
No, I mean, early on, I think we were just the only dog in town, right? Like that was a resource that became available to kids who had that knack. We never really knew them. They just found us like probably any business.
Mm-hmm.
They just back in the day were like, oh, I want to Google my athletic training or whatever.
Right. Looking for a place to train.
I don't know that was the case. I think the argument could be said that because of my affiliation to the high school, you would think that it would be more like in touch or in tune. But the reality is, like, I knew from the very beginning, being associated as a high school coach, I needed to create a line of divide where it wasn't like I'm coming on campus to be that to them. No, I'm here. I'm not wearing my Edge stuff. Like, I am here as your high school coach. Now, if you contact me outside of practice and you're looking to advance yourself in any number of ways and you know that I'm in that world, then fine. But like, it wasn't that I was a coach long before I was the business owner, so it kind of was, I saw the need based on me coming through this town as them and what was missing. So it kind of came in reverse order. So after that, after it became kind of a known brand that like, hey, you can go there and be better and chase your dreams and all that stuff. It's way different now because it's an open gym to the public too, so they come potentially as a general gym member, maybe seeking additional personal training or what have you. So it just kind of is a service stack instead of they come there specifically for that. Although some do, some are still like, I don't need a gym membership. I need 100 hours of training to be what I want to be. And we still have a whole staff that's built around making that happen.
Mm-hmm. So are you training like, this might be a silly question, but are you training sports technique, or are you training like, here's the things in your body that need to be stronger for playing this sport, or more endurance for this sport specific to a sport, or both? Or
I'd say it's all hybrid. If we're talking just the athletic community, whatever deficiencies they may have, whether it be skill-based or human performance, like those two things kind of go hand in hand with the hybrid style of training. But then there's the everyday guy, me, that would step in and say, I just need personal training. I want to lose 15 pounds. We have that whole, like, it's funny because we say like everybody's an athlete, like from 2 to 92, like there's a version of the athlete in you. Doesn't mean we're going to go teach you how to shoot a free throw in basketball.
Right.
But we're going to probably say like, I'm willing to step out on the court because I don't feel like, I'm dragging tail and I'm 100 pounds overweight. Like, so there's all those, it's widespread. There's two separate communities. We kind of call it the athletic community and then the general population. There's two sets
like
of variables.
Me. Like you.
So like
us.
I guess what I'm thinking is like, if you have somebody, like what sports, there's got to be a finite amount of sports that you can cater to. I guess the high school sports are finite though.
Are you trying to get like fencing training or javelin or something?
Well, actually the thought did cross my mind of like, training for jiu-jitsu, like training, not technique, but training like certain body parts, like your neck and I mean, that I did have that thought, but I'm just thinking like, it's like teaching here, you know, it's like every once in a while somebody comes in, they want to learn violin. Well, I don't really know violin, you know what I mean? So I'm like, I can't really help you, you know? I mean, I could.
Yeah, no, I mean, I'm not telling you that we're out teaching people how to perfect their backstroke, you know, definitely not. But as far as like the core components or the building blocks of sport,
Yeah.
a lot of that is transferable amongst many. And there are obviously key movements that certainly help a baseball swing. You know, like there are things that we're going to lean into from a physiological standpoint to say, all right, we're going to make sure you're equipped with that. So when you
Right.
go out and you make contact with the ball next time, you're going to be like, oh, I put my work in. And you know when a ball jumps off your bat. Like, Joe, I mean, our experience is like past there, but like, you know when it pays off, right? So I think there's a lot of that you get weeded quick, you know, but there's a lot of things that you can certainly.
What do you mean by that?
You can get weeded quick in trying to drill down on like a single skill set within jiu-jitsu. Whereas if you look at the athlete as a whole, there's so many things that you could benefit from to improve in jiu-jitsu.
Okay, I see what you're
So
saying.
and it all kind of connects. And then, you know, with our quality of staff, like when you have a master's in like health and human performance that's sitting there assessing you, although they're not an expert in jiu-jitsu, they know enough about human movement to say like, these are the things that we're going to, you know, participate with to help improve this.
Gotcha.
And it all becomes kind of that jigsaw puzzle of any two coaches are going to coach you slightly different. There's no way that this is the program that is single fit to your needs. Like
There's more
just
than
flavor.
one way to do it.
Yeah, there's all kinds of flavor, and
You can make it fun. You can make it harder. You can, or I mean, like more. Yeah, like
exercise selection and prescription alone is like, it's so wide and varied based on the coach's prior experience and how they were probably trained in their learnings. You know, I don't know how many different ways there is to hit a chord on a guitar, but it's probably not always universal. Like the way your hand slides is a little
Mike
different
knows
than the
all
next
of them
guy.
for sure. I know two of them.
Right? I mean, that's the thing. Like,
absolutely.
You find that fit for the athlete that's looking for.
Yeah, that
kind of you piece it together to make it like custom.
And that's a huge part of what you're offering, right?
Sure,
You know,
it's custom to the need and hyper focused on making sure that the performance outcomes are well known and driving confidence into the human who is like experiencing it. It's like, whoa, man, that ball jumped off my bat. And then when the parents on the sideline are then coming to you and being like, Mike, what have you done, man? You just came out and your ball's exploding. Like, well,
The edge, baby.
Been to the edge, bro. You used the term hybrid approach or hybrid training or something a few minutes ago. I've been out of the fitness game for a long time. So what exactly do you mean by that?
So his conversation point was about skills versus like the human performance element. We would typically go hand in hand to the level of what our coach can provide, if that makes sense. Like I have a baseball, football, lacrosse background. So if I'm training a kid, and it's a hybrid of you need to drop 15 pounds, you need to add 20 pounds to your bench press, you need to also, do this, and this in your stick work. That is what I kind of morph into, like a hybrid. There's skills for the sport you're training for, as well as human performance elements. Mirror them together, and then you're on field, and you're feeling so much better about.
Yeah. Okay. That makes
you.
A lot of
I don't
sense.
know what that would be. We got to talk, man.
It'd be a lot, bro.
Like if Joe or I came in and we said, hey, like. I want to drop 15 pounds. Yeah. What would you sort of prescribe? How would that look? Would it be a number of sessions that you do, or would it be one thing and then go home and do this thing, or
all
like
the above, dude? Totally custom. I mean, some people, there's a huge part of this that not everybody has, all the money to throw at. Like I'm coming in 5 days a week for personal training, so you got to take several factors into, account. I would say. You come in, we assess where you are, and then you're going to have somebody give you kind of what they think is the path of least resistance to get you to where you want to be. How much of that we have to kind of pull and play, homework. You know, you got to go home, and if you're only going to be with us 1 day a week, you know, you better make sure you're reporting on knocking out these other things these 5 days. Otherwise, we're wasting everybody's time. You know, like.
And you'll cater to that. You'll
Totally.
Like if I say I don't have any gym equipment, you say, okay, well, here's things to do with what you got.
Yeah. You know, you got a gallon of milk in the fridge. Well, let's start there. You know, there's all kinds of. I think this is also pretty cool.
No milk?
No milk. Maybe not milk. I mean,
raw milk for me.
You always have your body.
Right.
And you always have the ground under you. And you'd be amazed at how much you can accomplish with the space on the floor right there and the right mindset. Like, dude, it's.
And the more you weigh, the harder that is probably because you've got all this extra weight to like push up and whatnot.
And then you modify the exercises to make sure that it's not like a waste of time. Like if I can't do one push-up, we're not going to tell you to do push-ups.
Speaking of mindset, when like how often do you have people come in and they're like, yeah, I want to do this, and this or whatever. And that you can tell like their mindset's just not there. Like how do you, what kind of approaches do you have with people that don't have the motivation?
I think for us, it's been super profound that for whatever reason, the way we structured the business and the way we've kind of like nurtured an environment, what we attract is almost always the right person.
Yeah.
It's just for whatever reason, I don't know. I've kind of always played it like this, especially when it was like mostly youth training that we did. If the parent was dragging the kid, never worked. We said, look, this isn't going to work. So we don't waste their money and time when it's just going to be a consistent problem between parent and kid. If they're side by side and they're excited to be there together, beautiful arrangement. Kids pulling the parent, even better. Like those are the kind of the single visual that I can kind of play into it. And you know quickly. It's, you know, and I can't say that maybe 2 times I had a personal experience with like, oh, the parent is really pulling the kid and they're just kind of like not excited to be there. Very rare. Very rare.
Well,
Kids
that's
are
good
pumped.
for you. That's awesome that you have
But then I think what you get out of it, Joe, is once you're in with that person and the parent is watching or whatever, it's like, that's where you work on the mindset. Because, okay, you have it. Let's help you hone it.
Right.
And then, man, those kids start to realize how like confidence plays into the whole deal.
Yeah.
And then, to be honest, like since we're on a podcast and it's something that is like, I would spill this as often as possible. The byproduct of this business that I did not go into it on a business plan was confidence. The effects that it's had on people throughout every vein of what we do. Most importantly with the kids that, okay, maybe they did 15 sessions of individual training. And then they went out and Miss Mary said something about how the ball came off their bat. And then they're like, oh my gosh, she recognized, wow, my work is paying off. Like, dude, the stories that come back to us in that realm, it's like, there's the byproduct, there's the silver lining. Like you're making people pumped about just working out.
Man.
Stuff that
They want to
chasing.
come back. Yeah.
Oh, and then, I mean, think about it. In hindsight, if you have a bunch of people cheerleading you along the way for like applauding your efforts, I mean, the ultimate goal is then much more attainable because you're constantly getting that reassurance of what I'm doing is working and I'm going to keep after it.
Well, it's just like going to the gym and like somebody notices you. Like, you've been working out, man. You're looking good, you know?
Shirt fits right, man. Looks good.
Yeah, exactly. Your shirt's a little tighter than it used to be.
I saw it on Mike when we first rolled into
Did
that.
you? Yeah. He looks good in that shirt, doesn't he?
With that. Like
if it were up to me, I'm sorry. If it were up to me, he'd wear that shirt at every episode. It's the best shirt.
I
he
like
has.
to wear the t-shirts, you know, show off my guns, but whatever.
There you go.
But you got the sleeves rolled up right now, you know. Plus the colors. It's a good look, Mike. You're looking sharp, buddy.
Thanks, buddy.
You're welcome.
But yeah, I noticed that with kids here, like I have one-on-one students, and then I have like camps in the summer, and the kids that do the camp and go and actually play in front of people, it's like a new level. When they come back to their lesson, it's a totally different lesson than, you know, if they're just doing a lesson. And yeah, definitely. So did you have another question before I ask this other question?
No, I mean, I was going to make one other like analogy. It's just like, you know, being in recovery, like early recovery, people getting clean, you go to a meeting, you get a key keychain and people give you a hug, like, good job, man, you got 30 days. The same kind of thing. Yep, keep coming back. It's just that you mentioned mindset, and that is, man, I mean, no matter what you're doing, right? It's the biggest thing. It really is.
Yeah, one off for sure.
So your question was, how do you help someone with mindset? And you're basically saying you don't really need to most of the time, other than they get some success.
Well, I think it was really real. How do you change it? And you know, not really definition, but like, fortunately for us, we are usually dealing with a cross section of people who already have pretty positive mindset,
Pretty highly motivated.
So we hone it once we get them into their, you know, training regimen. But I think from like a precursor or like a walk in the door, we have a pretty lucky, or maybe that's what we attract. I don't know. Like,
well, that's kind of what I'm thinking too. You know, from a business perspective, I've heard people much smarter than me talk about, like, you know, build something that don't go chasing people, right? Build something that is going to attract people to you. And for example, in the line of business that I'm in, photography and videography, when you have those people who are, you know, $300 for a portrait session, like, what about $150? I don't want you anyway. You know what I mean? Because they're trying to nickel and dime me. But so a much better approach is like, just do really good work and set the price. And then the people who recognize that, they have no problem with the price. They don't even second guess it. It's a similar kind of thing where you're like building something, and then the people that you're attracting are prepared for what you're offering.
it's a value-based approach, right?
Yeah.
Value is first. If you know that, man, I'm getting way more than I'm paying for in my mind.
Yeah.
How do you put a price tag on your 11-year-old coming home with a sudden bout of confidence?
Right.
Come on.
Yeah.
Now as a father, like, you're talking priceless stuff.
Yep.
So, like, provide the value first. And I feel like, and this is the way we operate, and this is straight truth. We don't operate on a profit-based business. We operate on a do good by good people, and then have those effects bring the dollar in the back door. Like, that's literally the way it works for us. And it's somewhat foolish when you talk to like high-level business men and women. They'd be like, wait a minute, you do what? You know, you're not profit driving every one of those like factors. No, because what that attracts then is like, do we want to do business over there? Like, it's all No.
Right.
We go in reverse and we go out and we do good. And truth be told, like, I think that gives people a more marginal propensity to like choose us when it's time to have a birthday party. Like, you have 13 shirts from us that you didn't pay for. Like, you could outfit your kids for a week with stuff we gave you. Like, it's kind of cool that we've kind of gone in we didn't do it for that reason either. We just thought that the mindset was do good first and see where that takes us. And
so that made me think of another question. Do you have any sort of programs or services for like kids with special needs that want to get in?
So over the years, we've had various things. We've worked with Special Olympics of Maryland, where they've had programs that run through us. We're not specializing in that, but we'll house that. There's been several school like work-based programs that will come in and will adopt a student or two to do tasks around the facilities, which gives them, in a potential handicap scenario, like work-based opportunity. So, I mean, those are just two kind of different things. Okay. We don't have a in-house program that we have adopted as ours, but we do work with, individuals that will come to us with special needs. We will adapt our training to fit what it is. I'm
wondering. Like, you'll work with them even if they're not trying to be a...
Special populations and all of that is more than welcome. We whatever the need is for the client, I think that's where we find our specialty, is that.
Like, I have a son who's without putting all his personal business on the podcast, like, he has some like, if you met him, you'd think, oh, he's just a normal kid, but he has some like physical things going on that prevent him from sort of hanging with the other kids at a certain level. You know, he's like a little behind physically and stuff. And like he just started running cross country, you know, and it's like if I brought him in and said, okay, here's my son, and he's, you know, wants to get better at cross country, and your coach started working with him, like after a few minutes, he'd be like, oh, he would start to notice like, okay, this kid needs like a little bit different help than the typical kid would.
We try to address any of that on the front end with like known limitations or known like situations. Again, I think we're really good at kind of getting to the root of who we're dealing with, right? It'd be better off for us to know every one of those details leading into it versus in discovery.
Yeah.
So I think that is something that we're very, I don't know how to explain it more so than like our staff collectively, like it's a family feel. Some family works there, and it's like the compassion inside of like us trying to get you to where you want to be with all said factors in play. There's just a level of compassion that like I think we really have our pulse on, you know, our finger on the pulse.
That's awesome.
So it's, yeah, man. I mean, we are totally welcome to, I mean, some of the most difficult, you know, cases or what have you is like the most rewarding because they oftentimes make the biggest gains in areas that you or I wouldn't even be focused in. Walking.
Yep.
Like, let's talk about some of the basics in, you know, making sure that you feel confident getting into the gym. It's just so many things we could talk about there. That's like,
yeah, well, I mean, that's what your business is all about, right? Like personal growth and like the changes that people make over time. Yeah, that's really cool, man. I really wish that I had known like more. I've never even been over there, which is crazy. But
take a look, man. Seeing is believing.
Yeah.
The goofy part, like even this mentor last week that I met with that I had a relationship with since I had my landscaping company, like through Chesapeake College, like small business development center, like free service. But I went to him all along the way, like once a year check-in and all this thing. Well, he had never like toured the facilities. I'm like, dude, Richard, like you got to come down and like, let's just walk through and check it out. Well, he, like most others, you maybe too, like if you walk through the door, I always say this. I'm like, I wish I had a GoPro or a camera right where like the door opens to like the back of both facilities.
Yeah.
Because I'll be sitting in my office and I can hear the people go through the door and I immediately hear like, whoa, like I didn't expect all this.
I'm sitting here like imagining it, listening to you describe it.
And he did it the other day and I'm like, man, of all people, this is the mentor. I should have like captured him. He's much older now. It's not really like something that he would think to be like excited about.
Yeah.
He's not coming to work out. He's not coming to like play soccer, nothing like that. But if that was his response, I'm like, man, this is gold. So worth gold.
Tell me
so
about
your video work,
I was
right
gonna-
there.
Yeah, man.
Capture.
Let's chat. You know, I'd love to do something for you guys or with you.
Tell me about the what is it? The Small Business Development Service?
Small Business Development Center. They have an office in Chesapeake or at Chesapeake College. It's a free service for like small budding businesses. I don't really
How
think
did we not know about this?
size doesn't really.
How would you know? How would you know about it? How did you know
clue.
about it?
Dude,
Yeah, how do you know
back
about it?
then, I mean, I don't know. It was like connection to somebody else who had used them. I think it was more of a personal reference than like finding it. Yeah. The fact that it's not like widely known is incredible to me because, I mean, they'll take you to, just like what you're talking about, like our clients, they'll hold your hand if you are completely dumbfounded with business as a whole, or if you're like a seasoned vet, man, they have people there that can help guide you, find funding if you're looking for like whatever avenue of business like you're in or whatever stage, they have support there that, you know, can take you.
I know where I'm
Wild.
going later today.
Yeah, right.
There you go.
That's awesome.
Mike and I
man.
can be running
there's
over there.
plug.
I'm really kicking Joe back. I'm first, Joe.
I'm first.
Yeah. That's cool, man.
Yeah, that is cool. Something that more of a detailed level, I guess, is something that I was thinking about when you were talking a little while ago about starting the businesses and growing and acquiring more employees is like coming up like with the different positions for the employees and like different programs, like what are we going to offer? What are we going to specialize in? Did that kind of just come naturally, or was it difficult to categorize everything? How are we going to charge memberships? All that kind of stuff.
You have to run each business. Is it almost like 3 separate businesses? Like,
yeah.
Like, that's a question I have.
Yeah. I mean, yeah.
Shut up, Joe. To piggyback off your point is what I'm saying.
Yeah. So I would say I've always had kind of a pretty good ability to like run the numbers, as people say in business, like run the numbers. Like you reverse engineer from like what your end goal is to then kind of micro into the numbers that make sense that people will also be like able to pay. Like we pride ourselves in being the lowest price gym around and no contracts. So we simplify that whole component of the business.
That's pretty cool, the no contract.
Yeah, because we were like, we don't, this is open to the world. Like as a gym owner, like I don't want my staff, to get back to your staffing question, I don't want my staff to have a stressful day at work based on somebody coming to them and being like, hey, I need to get out of my contract. And they're like, no, you can't. Hold on, wait a minute. Friction everywhere. People are like in the lobby then, upset. Totally avoidable, right?
Yeah.
In my opinion. I know that it's valuable to have like locked in residual money that you can guarantee is coming in. But back to the testament of how we operate business, it's like do good by good people. They're going to be more likely to stay. Your price point's lower. So it's not as much of a like, it's not a single facet business. There's so many other things that kind of bring about the ability to fill the bucket to make it break even, that we don't have to lean so heavily on that number inside of the whole thing. One little thing there. As far as like about the staff and the roles and all those things, that's all demand based. Like you just kind of know when you know. I'm at my max. I've worked, 18 hours a day, whatever. Like there is a time where it's kind of sink or swim, have somebody help you, and then those roles are usually pretty evident with either what is not your strength. So you try to fill for, somebody that might be able to do that better than you, so all those things that come about, being on it and seeing it like transparently to know that like it's here and we want it to go here. And then you reverse engineer that path. Yeah. In my opinion, is kind of like where and it goes back into my coach, like same thing with coaching. Like we want to win a state championship. There are things that is the end result. Like, we're not just going to show up and win the state championship. From May 21st of next year back to today, like I've got a sequence of things that I know we have to do to make sure that our odds of winning it are at least favorable, right? So I think I've had a vision in a lot of ways, like to like know when a need is coming, especially from like an operational standpoint. People, I know I'm going to need people. Can't do it all. Tried it, grew out of it. Fortunately that loan thing like kind of kicked me in the direction of like, dude, that's God speak. Like you need some people.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, that's really cool, man. It's really interesting to hear about this business. It's not something that, when I think of like a gym owner, it's just, oh, you got a gym and you sell memberships, but you guys have a lot more going on than that, and really a different business model. It sounds like
it's a piece of it.
Yeah,
that's like one of the things that really always kind of rubbed me when like I was looking at gyms. I was like, there's always this the contract piece. It's like confrontational right from the beginning. That's just one little thing you mentioned, but it's like this little, I don't know. It's just a little like, I'm kind of like, I don't want to do that.
It's a hurdle to get over.
It's
for
like,
sure.
Real. Most people.
Like, what if I have to move? What if I, like,
what if I don't want to come anymore?
What if I like forget this?
Like, this is the goofy part. Like, I see things, I think, just a little bit differently, where you need to reduce barriers for somebody who's already not likely going to step foot in the gym. Like, dude, I want to lose 20 pounds, but I don't want to go to the gym. I just talked about my own story of like, cut the BS, go to the gym. Like I had to get myself there. Mm-hmm. I have the keys to the place.
Right.
Like,
right.
I mean, come on.
Were you working out somewhere else or just not going?
Dabbling in my basement.
Okay.
And frankly, like from the time we had kids, there was a gap there where I wasn't really doing nearly enough at all.
That's pretty funny. Like a gym owner, you know.
It's
not
like the oxymoron
out.
of oxymorons.
Right.
But that goes back to, you said something about it being like, you know, a gym ownership. And I'm like, I hardly see myself as a gym owner.
Right, yeah.
I see it as all the facets, that being one. Like it's...
Yeah, man. I mean, I think that's awesome. In one of the recent episodes, I think it was when we were talking to Dale, and I was listening to that episode yesterday about just trying to have more of a big picture mindset when it comes to creating and running a business. We were talking about like creating a job for yourself or creating a business, which came from Rich Dad, Poor Dad, or it's in that book anyway. And yeah, I don't know if you did that on purpose, but like I can see how your mindset with the Edge is very similar to that, right? It's not just like one thing. It's this much bigger picture, you know? And for me, like even grasping that concept, it only came to me in the past like year or two. You know, it was always like, okay, well, first for a long time, it was just like you get a job and you go to work, you know, and you make money, they pay you to be there. And then it's like, oh, okay, so I can make my own job. That's really cool. And then it's like, well, I can not just make a job for myself, but like create a business. Yeah, it's really interesting. I wish I had this entrepreneurial. I wish I had this entrepreneurial mindset. It's a hard word to say. When I was about 20 years ago, you know, but
that's the thing in this world. Like now, grab it and run. It
really is making me realize how, man, going back to mindset, man, just the difference, the level of success that a person can reach just by like having a different mindset and thinking about something differently.
Be thankful it wasn't 20 years from now that you had this epiphany.
There you go with the mindset, right?
That's right. That's it. Like today is all you got. So
better late than never, right?
Take it and run, man.
So that made me think of something. Joe's going to make fun of me for asking you this, but when we had that conversation with Dale, it sparked in me this idea of starting a vending machine business. So I want to ask you,
I think it's a great idea.
I'm assuming you have vending machines at the
Why are you assuming?
Because it's a gym, baby. And how do you handle that? Do you have a service? Do you actually have vending machines?
I'm actually right now, we have one machine in between both facilities.
Okay.
And it's at random. They came to me. It was this in the sports arena space. So it doesn't conflict with the gym. It's like this Dippin' Dots.
Okay.
So it's like ice cream. Fair. Well, look around the facility at night and there's droves of kids that are sitting there watching whatever happened. Little brother watching older brother do something on the field. Like, okay, fine. Go ahead, put it in there, see what it does. We don't touch it. We don't service it. They come, they fill it, they handle it all. Like, we need probably 4 or 5 more of those in one facility to then get rid of all of our concessions. Like, our concessions are kind of, they're not problematic, but it's somebody going to get stuff. Yeah. And it's like, okay, we can probably do away with that with a machine. So
I'll call you for real if you're you
totally
know, would be willing to talk about it.
If you stocked it with like Prime, I know 11-year-olds love that stuff.
Well, in the gym space, it's a little different. But
yeah, that's one of the questions I had. I mean, like, you know, and we could talk about this.
Well, you could put earbuds in there because people might forget their earbuds.
There is the vending machine. Like, I've been really looking into it, man. It's like, it's endless. The things you could
those little
in
fans.
A vending machine. It's so cool.
Spray bottles with fans on them, you know.
And you know, my kids could work doing. You know, it's like a totally doable job. Dude. They can help. It's just such an exciting idea, and I don't know. I need to find a first location, so maybe we can make it work. Maybe not. I won't ID like you to death or anything.
I have the space, and I was staring at it the other day, just mulling over and researching the different opportunities that kind of fall in line with the model of what this Dippin' Dots does. So yeah, my ears are wide open.
Yeah, not to I mean, to kind of piggyback off what Mike said earlier, you were talking about how you hosted the prom and some other like random things, and you asked me when you first came up here, do I have a studio? And I actually have a photo shoot coming up where a mother hired me to take some like action portraits of her son playing basketball, some like cool creative stuff. And yeah, right. And
indoors, no rain.
When I was talking to her, I was like, she's like, can you do this? I'm like, yeah, of course I can. But where? I don't have a basketball court,
Gotcha.
So she was, I think she was going to look and try to find somewhere. But I mean, that's a great resource, hit you up and rent out the space for an hour, a couple hours. Or, I mean, it just because you have so much space and you're open to other random things, like even
band shoots or whatever.
Band shoots or even just like portrait sessions. It's great to have a lot of space, lights and everything takes up
Can we
space.
start shooting the podcast there?
Can we shoot the podcast there?
Center field, center court, whatever.
That'd be so cool.
It would be. Yeah, it'd be dope.
I mean, and I don't like the same thing with the contract thing. Like, I don't create barriers for people. I try to aim to like fill the need, man. It's so weird to me that that's really all I've done is listen, ear to the ground, where's the need, fill the void, try to do it the best you can, and then lo and behold, like you start to become like this source of answering people's problems. And I really mean that. Like,
yeah.
And it hasn't happened overnight, but like we are now the administrative backbone to 7 schools worth of after school programming.
Wow.
Like, does that fit in? Or you're a gym owner? Time out. What? Like, there's conflict in that thought of like, wait a minute, Bobby, like, what are you talking about? So like, here it is. We put our hand in the air when kind of this after school space was like burning to the ground under the Board of Education. They were known, like they were retiring it after 30 years. And I mean, back to when we were in school, like after school partnering for youth was a thing then, and it still has become, or it's still there now. Anyways, they were retiring it. And I'm like, all right, well, they had some seed money left over for like exploring what's the step forward with this whole thing. Well, it's us and every other basic like community organization in these original meetings of like, what's the path forward for partnering for youth? And before it's all said and done, I'm like the only one left going to these meetings, and we've got, suddenly the contract is in our lap, and I'm like, man, okay, we've got to figure this out, like knock it out of the park. It's just me really, because I can't pass it off to my staff until I know how to really delve it out.
Yeah, you can't delegate.
But that's an answering call. The community was like literally face to face, we're retiring it. But if you let 800 to 1,000 kids just go home after school, come on, man.
Right.
Come on. Like, how am I going to say, like, turn a blind eye to that?
Yeah.
No way, no how. So, like, there was a need. And I'm like, we have got it. We've got it. So after this first school year that just passed, crushed it. Like, I'll openly say that. Like, tell the world. And I'm so proud of it because very few problems and a ton of, like, positive response from the parents, the staff, the kids. Handwritten letters coming to us like, thanks so much for saving like PFY.
That's awesome, man.
And I'm like, that's what it's about, man. It's not in my business like plan to do that, but it was answer the call, do the best you can for those who need it, and before you know it, like, I mean, we just got it. We just renewed this year for. Oh, and by the way, we started with 6 schools and we added a 7th pro bono to like. Bayside Elementary was being left out. We were like, we got to figure out how to get Bayside Elementary on the docket. And so it's all good, man. Like, it's
awesome,
it's just cool. You just listen, you find like.
And that has got to be good for your business too, right? I mean, now all these people know about you that didn't know about you.
But that's
before.
the thing. We don't do it in that fashion, and that was the right idea.
Yeah.
But we don't then promote the heck out of the fact that we have done that. We almost act in like silence. And those who know just kind of maybe we'll talk about it naturally. And it's kind of cool because it reiterates everything that I've said kind of this point of like not for profit, right? We don't really like seek things out in that manner. We took the contract last year before we even knew what dollars were involved. Didn't have a clue. We were like, the need, 800 to 1,000 kids are going to go home. We'll figure it out. Like, if we have to go out and then find community funding to like backfill this thing to make sure it's whole, we would. And like, so it just shows that you take the step first to like help people do the right thing. And behind the scenes, there can be like a business somewhere, you know, back here. Like it's, I don't know, it's kind of cool. And it's unique.
Awesome,
I know it's unique.
man. Yeah, it definitely unique. I would have, you know, I said this earlier, I would have had no clue. I didn't have any clue that, you know, you guys were on such a level that you are. I mean, you know, I knew that you did like personal training there, and that was pretty much all that I was aware of, you know. I'm not in this
Totally.
general
that doesn't
area,
offend me
but-
at all either, Joe. It's like we laugh and we make like internal comedy from a staffing perspective. We're like, we live in a small town. We have done so much inside of this town, and there's still droves of people that don't have a clue literally what we do. My general manager currently had zero inkling, and she's known me since, you know, we've all known each other. No clue.
Right.
He's now general manager and still day to day figuring out more and more that we do.
Yeah.
After like 2 years.
It's amazing,
pretty
man. It's amazing that you can grow to such a level, you know, and kind of do it behind the scenes a little bit, you know, without, I don't know. I have an 11-year-old. If I was in the Kent Island area, I probably would have known all about every little bit that you do, you know, years ago. But
I still doubt that.
I don't know. I mean,
She has those age kids
yeah.
and still was without knowing. And
Yeah,
we literally
that's
find
wild.
people still to this day that are as close or closer that you guys are to me
Right.
daily. Like, it's like, wait, we didn't know. We didn't know. We didn't have a clue. Like,
Well, it tells
we
me
knew.
that, you know, imagine like that you
Promotions?
still have so much room for growth. You know what I mean? Even though you're already like doing everything under the sun.
I say this, and I don't mean to sound like a business owner because that's like not really where I hang my hat. Like the business side of things could double
Yeah.
without like adding 10 people to the payroll. That is a fact. Like, I know that.
Well, that's an amazing thing.
Like, at this point, I'm like, we kind of need to be speaking from a bullhorn instead of like hiding from like what we are actually behind closed doors super excited about. I truly don't think that we caption or capture the golden nuggets nearly enough. Like, we're doing awesome things, but then we don't capture and throw that.
You know who can
to,
really
like,
help with that? Like a
Video.
local,
I mean, Joe's a guy.
local videographer
It's true though, man.
that you've
Just-
known for a long time.
Yeah, I'm being humble about it, but it's like humble gets you to like a point of generosity that if you're not careful, you'll run yourself just ragged and dry.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
and I think there's this balance of like internally for me, straight up. I am generous first. I can see it all the way back to when I was a kid. Like, you know, there's all this like give first, give first, give first. And it's like, dude, but if you pour from an empty cup, like
Yeah.
at some point, you better be wiser than that. Like, so it's a balancing act. But yeah, I mean, I know for a fact that promotions and all the things that we could certainly like, you know,
double it up.
Yeah, you know what else? I mean, this you know, listening to you talk about the Edge and the whole way that it's grown and started and your business model and everything. It does make me think too. You know, there are different types of business people, and a lot of times when you think of a businessman or a business person, it's like this cutthroat. You know, money first. You know, I don't care if I step on your toes. I'm here to make the dollars, and I mean, there's no secret that those people are often successful. You know, there's a lot of times that people make lots of money with that approach. But, you know, there's also a lot to be said about having where the product is first. You know what I mean? Like, and you've mentioned that a few times, like the whole thing with the after school programs, not even really talking about the numbers until
The need.
right. Yeah. Having the need first, filling the void of something that people need. I mean, everybody knows that's a great business move. But really focusing on the product and making that the best that it can be, is, I mean, I'm no super knowledgeable business person, but I can definitely see that approach. I don't want to say the better approach. I mean, part of me wants to say it is the better approach.
It depends on what your goals are. I mean, it really comes down to the individual.
Well, I mean, just having a successful business, man, you know?
But if you're driven by the dollar, there's, this world we live in, it's both good and bad. You know, you can look at it from one side or the other, and it's like, okay, those who have a ton of money will typically give back anyways. Well, we've just chosen to reverse it and say, if we do the good first, it might return in the way of dollars. Very uncommon, but I don't think there's like enough people that are willing to express themselves in business like in this fashion, right? And that,
well, it can be, it feels risky.
oh, it's totally risky, dude. I'll be dead honest. Like, I mean, it's all like when I'll talk faith and all the things, it's like you do good by good people, and like that is the core. Like if there's a like moral compass inside of this whole thing, it's like, that's cool. Like, we'll just do that, and then like give praise. Like, it's not goofy, but it's like that's the way it is, man. There's blessings inside of every single day, scripted or not, that like, whoa, man. And then you realize in hindsight, like if we didn't have that happen, we might be flat on our face.
Yeah.
Like, so at some point it's like, maybe this, in reference to our recent comment here about like doubling in size, maybe it's the end all, like sooner than later payday, if you will. If there's a payday involved with like true currency to be part of it, it's like maybe that's going to be the product of like your ever giving consistent effort. Maybe. And I'm not saying like it's going to make us all like hand over fist rich, but it might give us a little bit of breathing room where that risk that you mentioned isn't so present. That's where we still like, we make decisions that are risky as all get out, and most business people would be like, we can't do that. But I'm like, full speed ahead, attack that, we're doing it, and we'll figure it out.
Yeah, I mean, it sounds like it. Trying to like think of the right way to put like what I'm thinking, but you've got a lot of resources, or you know about a lot of resources. You've had some experience, like networking and that kind of thing can also be very helpful.
Just listening, man. I think that's really the thing, is like putting your ear to the ground and like for no more good than just to know. Like, if back to again the kid talk, like, how can I help? Well, that's the question that's burning inside. Like, just have that inside your core, and suddenly it's like you become this sounding board. I laugh about it all the time. I'm like, I get people come to me for answers on things that I'm like, dude, I don't know why you think I have the answer to that. But somehow, most cases, I do. It's like this, like, I don't know, it's just product of time and care. I think it's just care, like listening, being a part of the community, and, being a solution-based mindset instead of a problem-based focus. And
heck yeah, man.
It's awesome, man.
Puts it in a weird spot, but it's kind of cool.
It's awesome. I mean, it makes me want to come, like, just like join the whole thing right this minute, like totally.
I mean, the good part there is like, we didn't talk much about the foundation, but it's like there's so much opportunity for people to join hands with what we do, that we're quietly operating a local nonprofit foundation behind the scenes of all this that does so, when I say so much, like, I'm not trying to like brag or boast, it does so much like little behind the scenes stuff to help support kids that where like the schools don't really focus. Not the after school program, that's completely separate. Like things inside of like positive behavior incentive programs. We run all the school field days for like all the county. We've done that forever, and like now we're getting recognized by like the Ravens, and like your community leadership efforts on display. It takes a ton of people to volunteer to make that single thing happen for all the schools. So now it's coming full circle of like, dude, like you giving your time and energy early on, and then that growing into like every school being represented now gets the attention of like an NFL team to be representing you. Like
huge.
I don't know, man. It's when we start to talk about it, like the energy just flows. I could sit here all day, and be like, dude, Mike, I need you in May to do like 3 days of run point man at 3 schools because we need those people. Like, and Joe, like, dude, you're gonna come in and do all the video stuff, like, because we need the bullhorn. You're the bullhorn. Let's attack it. We double in size. More generosity happens, and it's like now you played a part of the whole process. And we don't do enough of that in the way of recruiting, like the key people to. We say like we're like this little engine that can, like this little tiny staff, but we're like responsible for all these like big projects.
Yeah. How many employees do you have?
So right now we have 5 full-time.
That's crazy.
Yeah. And then like a bunch of part-time staff.
You would think like you'd be like, yeah, we have like 150.
Yeah.
No, man, it's and I think it's comical at times because like that when the contract was awarded for that after-school program, I'm like, we led with like, we got it because the need is so big. We are willing to just attack it and figure it out. And that's the core behind it. I think there's like probably bigger organizations, but it's not their focus, and they can't lay aside those resources to focus on such a thing, especially when they don't know if money is behind it. Whereas we're like, we can't stomach the idea of living in this community and seeing it go by the wayside. So it's like,
and knowing that you could have helped out.
Oh, I mean, my conscience would have been messed up, So it's dude, it's so. And again, it's back to the blessing thing. Like, take a leap of faith, figure it out, and then it's kind of a cool experience. So
it sounds amazing.
Yeah.
Mike looks like he has a burning question. No,
he's burning. I'm just burning his ears.
I'm just like, yeah, this is awesome. I mean, it's not really on topic, but I do want to ask a question.
Yeah, I knew you. I could tell by the look in your face.
You could?
Yeah.
Thanks, Joe.
I could read you like a book, Mike.
So it's sort of it's 2 questions, but they're related. So in your training that you do with these athletes, do you provide I'm assuming you provide some sort of nutritional guidance as well as, or how do you
within
handle
scope that? Based on staff capacity. So like if they're not we don't have a nutritionist on staff. So therefore, if it's something beyond like what they're comfortable handling, we would then refer out for that.
Okay.
Yeah.
But I mean, like if somebody comes in and they're like, I want to drop 15 pounds, you can say
there's easy things there
this,
that you
don't
can
eat that.
Yeah,
sort of stuff.
There's easy stuff there that you start with.
Right on. And then what's the role of like, if any, of like supplements with you personally and your
I know what road you're going down now.
Do you?
He said he was joking earlier about this whole ID life thing.
Oh, no.
Here's your pitch.
No, I do not trust me. I'm so far.
No, I'm totally
far
kidding.
That. I've been reading a lot about like creatine and stuff. It's kind of making a comeback and stuff. I'm just
What
curious
about blue meth? Is it okay to take blue?
methylene blue. You ever heard of this?
No, dude.
That's an inside joke from an old episode.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mike
I gotta go back and brush up.
Mike was doing that blue. You ever seen Breaking Bad?
Yes.
Blue is that same stuff.
But like maybe a better question would be like, are there supplements you would recommend to someone who's doing someone our age who's doing moderate exercise and just a daily thing that you like, take vitamin B, take this, take that.
He's calling me a gym owner right now, right?
Yep.
This is where
he's really trying to do. He's trying to get free information out of you.
Well,
this is the consultation that you could be doing over at the Edge.
I wish I would have the answer for you, but I kid you not. Like the 2 things, I am not up to date on supplements.
Okay.
Fast forward like to where we are today, and the stuff comes out so fast and gets off the shelf just as fast. That's something that early on I was like, look, I can't specialize in that based on where I'm at. So again, go find that information from your best source of information. Wasn't me. Knew it. I'm like, I can't do that. It's so funny that I'll draw the correlation to like, okay, that again, back to like lacrosse head coach, blah, blah, blah. And early on, I did majority of my training was like lacrosse specific training. People would come to me and be like, how do you think I should string my stick? Or like, what head do you think I need to buy? And I'm like, that shit for me sailed a long time ago when I was trying to find the stick that worked for me.
Right.
But there's plenty of people in the lacrosse store that will tell you like, this is the lightest thing right now. Like you can find so I think I pick my battles, man. And if I was like only focused on being a gym owner, to bring light to it, I still listen to the Alex Hormozis of the world, like these big name people who have gone and like gym launch and blown up gyms in specifics. Their big thing is like, if you're not adding supplements to like the person who walks through the door, the upsell component. But does that sound like, since what we talked about today, like my focus?
It doesn't sound like
I
your
wouldn't just think
not
from an upsell, just like,
but it should be there.
Is that something that you like focus on or not? You know, maybe, and it sounds like it's just something that you
it's money left on the table. And again, that's a business concept right now that if we were to double down on like every little corner, vending machines, the same concept, like there is room for like internal growth in that 20 square feet of the building. The same thing goes for like the welcome desk at the gym. There's a shelf there that should absolutely be like, here's your core package. If you're a weight loss client, like you need to have these 3 things. So don't be surprised if you walked in 3 months and you're like, wow, you got it figured out. It's not going to be me doing it, but I will have somebody like, this is your thing. Like, let's make sure we have an option for them to pick.
Yeah.
I wasn't even thinking about it from a sales perspective. I was thinking of it like more of a,
what should I take? That's what.
well, yeah, no, like just like you recommending, like when athletes come in, like, do you like what I was initially wondering with high school athletes is that like a controversial thing? Would that, I could see where parents would be like, you're telling my kid to take this or that.
Yeah, well, anytime you do that, you're going to have to be in the presence of, if you're talking to a minor, you're going to have to be with a parent that's willing to accept such advice.
That's not really something you guys
and I think it goes back to what we talked about earlier. I mean, it's like, it's built on premise that we're not looking at our client. We're trying to take them to where they want to be, but we're also not giving them all of that. And I don't know how to better frame that. Like, it's most of the stuff, like if you're looking to lose 15 pounds, I got news for you, brother. Like, I don't think the supplement's going to do it for you. Like 15 pounds is like, you get out and just start walking around the business park here for the next month. And lo and behold, don't be a fat boy at the dinner table. And you got 15 pounds like that. So I don't want to call supplement world like the easy way out, because I know there's a lot of good out there, but it's not.
I would just think really for somebody that's like trying to get into college sports, that would be on my mind.
Or performance driving things
like a high
that
school kid.
Yeah, and creatine goes to play. Like that was a thing as far back as we were young, and it's a known supplement that certainly will help, especially from like a recovery standpoint. Like, but I gloss over, and then try to give it to the next person to handle that stuff.
Cool. All right, that answers
personal preference.
Yeah, I mean, just listening to your whole kind of business model and approach, it makes sense that like, yeah, supplements. Okay, like if you want to go research a supplement with a doctor, go right ahead.
Yeah, I could see where that could get a little dicey too. Like
things happen fast out there, man.
Yeah,
regulations change, and then if you don't adopt it as a business practice, full fledged, then you're opening yourself to potential problems, and I just think it's easier to skirt that than make it a internal core component.
There's so much else to focus on.
Totally.
Yeah, and it does kind
mindset free, attack it. Like, I'd rather put 10 minutes a day into that kid to make sure the things that are controllable. He's jumping out of bed tomorrow because of whatever we said to him today. That's better than him taking that scoop of creatine.
Yeah, and on top of that, he could be like, oh, well, it was the scoop of creatine that helped me, not what Bobby and the Edge told me. You know what I mean? It does kind of feel like it's like a...
I'm not knocking it. There's
Yeah,
a place
yeah,
for it.
yeah,
I'm not
yeah,
taking
yeah.
anything away from it, but
Yeah,
Right.
no, that was an answer to the question. I'm just curious what role it plays in your gym, if any. It sounds like
in most cases, a gym owner would tell you that that's an upsell.
Yeah.
And we do not specialize. Like, frankly, like we have apparel. This is so silly, but like we have apparel at the front desk that it's seasonal apparel, and typically it doesn't sell during the season. So then we give it away at the end of the season. It's just like,
Right.
but then that's cool.
it's advertising.
There you go.
Yeah.
Like free advertising, I guess, or costly.
You got to have a shirt with your
Yeah.
logo on it, you know?
Yeah.
So what are you guys, like, what's going on at the Edge right now? What's coming up? Any kind of cool projects, things that you guys are working on right at the moment?
I mean, it's been a project of ours for a long time to try to condense both facilities into one, which would be like huge for us in the vein of like doubling overnight, just to see that the foot traffic that goes to one would also see the other. I mean, for any business would be monumental, right?
You mean like
that's
you're
huge.
trying to find a new place to house
Yeah, where we would
both?
just not find, but like probably build. It's been in the process for like many years. We've vetted basically like any of the area land perspective that would work, and it's pretty obviously not available. So
Yeah.
one of our landlords has been actively for a long time working to get to like a finished product for us that hasn't been built, but they know that we would be the core occupant. I mean, that would just be a world of good for us to expand everything. You know, if somebody's coming to the arena to watch their kid practice, but they don't realize that there's a gym attached, that they can go and actually like explore their greatest goals. Like, come on.
Yeah.
Put those two in the same visual frame, and you're like,
Yeah.
all right, okay. There's no upsell in that consideration. There's no cross sell. It's right in front of you.
Right.
And it's like you now are a parent watching your kid practice, and you look over 50 feet away, and there's a kid honing their skill individually. It's easy to say, like,
Yeah.
okay, when he leaves practice, he should go get, stronger, faster,
Yeah.
whatever, because he's that kind of kid. There it is.
Yep.
Like, attack it. So
And it's all right here. Yeah.
Yeah, that would be cool, man.
I mean, that's the biggest thing. I mean, I could tell you everything like down to like the day-to-day stuff that, it would be more like current promotions that, wouldn't stand the test of time on a podcast. So
Yeah.
just always next day, next thing, keep it rolling. And I would say that the big thing that is right now on the nonprofit side is that we just got the news about this year's recognition at the Ravens game on October 26th against the Bears.
Oh, cool. Okay.
So yeah, we get like 75 tickets to go and like give all these kids, a game day experience on the field.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so they recognized it. We got the award last year, and it was based on like our leadership program at the high school only. So that's what we submitted it on. And then from like an impact standpoint, we were like, that's cool and all, but it's not like the root core of like what the foundation like started as, and the timeline of effect that we've had over time was really that field day effort, and how we're in every school, and it takes like 200 volunteers to pull it off, and it's like that's a big undertaking.
Dude,
for
I
us.
can only imagine. Like,
I mean, just the logistics of all
Dude,
of it,
yeah.
and coordinating it, and making sure that like every kid and every staff gets T-shirts. I mean, dude, you're $30-some thousand in T-shirts
Right.
that we're just putting on people's backs with a positive message. Well, you start to put that into a application to the Ravens, and they're like, "This is awesome." So they're recognizing us, and that's like for me, a feel good moment was getting that, man, you guys are getting recognized for something that has grown with you over time in your community outreach element. It's like, man, that's the good stuff right there.
Heck yeah, man. That's so cool. Dude, it's been awesome listening to your story and telling us more about the Edge. I mean, I had no idea. Even if nobody watches this, which I'm sure they will, it's been awesome, like, learning all about that. Really, really inspirational and very informative.
one last question.
Mike's got another
9 to 5.
question.
One last question. What does Bobby Woolley do to unwind?
Oh,
Unwind?
that's a good one.
Dude, it's so funny you say that.
Other than workout, because
Yeah, like,
that's
do you
the,
have
Not really.
Do you like put little toy trains together? Do you
Man,
I don't know, like
To be honest, like it's morphed over time. It used to be like work was my calm space because I just love what I have the ability to do. And it's kind of morphed into the lacrosse job. Like the job that I have to coach that team at the high school is an absolute like stressor and decompressor in one. Because it's like, man, these kids could walk out of here on top of the world, winning a state championship, and I have a lot to do with that.
Yeah.
So like it's stressful in like putting the pieces together, but knowing that that's on the table, and then if they experience it, which they have like several times now, man, that's like a
Catharsis.
you talk about like a wind down. The 48 hours after winning a state championship is like the ultimate like weight drop.
Yeah.
And then like 48 hours later, you're like, oh man, I gotta go put that end of season banquet together.
Oh my God.
But it's like, man,
Gotta refill
that's
the
a big
vending
one.
machines.
That's a big one, and it's kind of inserted itself over time. But today, as I sit here today, it's whatever my kids want to do, man.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, it's being able to not be the 9 to 5, do all the things we just talked about, and then still put a primary focus on whatever it is that they're doing in the moment. Dropping Maverick off at preschool every day he has it, picking him up every day he has it, seeing him run to us. Like, I think focusing down on like seeing the world through a little kid's eyes whenever you can, just to be reminded of like the simple joys, and like every moment has its ability to be awesome if you just know where you're looking, right? You talked about it earlier, like shifting focus and all the things. Like, get down on a knee and see a 3-year-old run at you. I mean, like, I don't want to get all choked up right now, but like, let's be real here. That's the essence of like life for me. And yes, all these other things are like cool and fun and exciting, but you know, when your 1-year-old or 3-year-old is, you know, bopping around on their tippy toes, excited as all get out, it's like, let's be right here, right now.
Yeah, man. That's what it's all about,
that's
right?
the
All right, I know I said one last question. Can I
That's
ask
cool.
more?
Yeah, you got
so
more.
You're married.
Happily.
Does your
Love her.
wife
She's awesome.
play any role in the business?
So ironically, Crystal, she was out of work before COVID. We were dating for a while, and she stepped into the she stepped into the general manager role at that point in time.
Okay.
So she kind of learned the business way back when, and then COVID hit, I think, and it just kind of was like, whoa, I don't need a general manager. I don't even have a job. Like, it's, you know, the craziness of the world. So she still is like back end, I would say administrative support, but does not have like a definitive role in the office. She's home with the kids.
Okay.
So, but she's very aware of like, and kind of like much like I operate, like behind the scenes, kind of like quiet, do the things. There's things that she does that I'm not even like privy of until after she does it, and I'm like, holy cow, babe! Like that was
That's
awesome.
awesome,
Like,
man.
thanks for doing that. Like,
Nice.
And most of the time it's the goofiest stuff, man. But just knowing where to like pick up the slack and make a touch point there that only she would have, you know, it's kind of it's where it is.
Cool.
Yeah.
All right, I'm done.
I watch this YouTube channel. It's a camera thing, you know.
Yeah.
It's like cameras review and stuff. And at the end of every video, he goes, "All right, I'm done."
That's cool.
It's a cool catchphrase. Yeah,
Everybody's got to have
steal it.
one.
Yeah,
You guys want to sync up your jingle for another practice session here?
yeah, we
while we're
should.
on?
All right,
We
here
should.
go. 1, 2, ready.
The shift with Mike and Joe. That was pretty good.
Better on the in or the out?
The harmony, I really think Mike does a good job of the harmony, because I don't know how to harmonize, but Mike does. So
I'm trying to catch you.
Yeah, you do the high part.
You're going da 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 da. I'm going digga 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 digga, and it's kind of conflicting.
We got
we'll have to work.
We got to figure that part
Just
out.
keep it.
I can dug
Tone into it.
It's like two parts. You know, we could pan one left and one right.
It's true. Yeah.
Oh, we could really get
Cinematics.
Yeah,
Cool.
exactly.
So while I'm thinking about it, we got to take the picture for the thumbnail.
Yes, we do. Thanks for reminding me that of that while the cameras are still rolling, Mike. Appreciate it.
Real. Hey, I didn't want to forget, bro.
Bobby, thanks
First
so
30
much,
seconds,
man.
Yeah.
This was
First 30 seconds
awesome.
and the thumbnail.
Really great to see you again. Great to have you on. If someone is watching this and they're like, I had no idea about the Edge, how do they, get in touch with you? How do they find you?
Yeah, man. On the web, it's theedge360.net. And then from there, it breaks out to like all 3 components and everything. All the supporters that we have kind of represents the everything there. So
Okay.
we're on the web. Otherwise, Facebook, Instagram, all that stuff, the Edge 360. Yeah, we're out there.
Cool. Awesome.
Don't do a good enough job of promoting it, but we're out there.
Hey, maybe we can fix that.
There we go.
All right, Bobby, we wave to the camera. Thanks so
fellas.
much, guys. We'll see you next time.